Hey, good morning, fam. This is Ricky Dunnigan here with the Dunnigan Duo. I said I was gonna make this video about some different supplies and equipments that your kids can use to stay cool and be efficient at the Junior Olympics this year down in Houston. It's gonna be hot. I take these things everywhere we go for our meets. I actually use them for some of our other events, like softball as well in the summer. But these are some nice little pieces of equipment that I think most people should have for the events. This applies for the multi events. That's like your triathlons, your decathletes, your heptathletes, and your decathletes. This is where they're going to be out there for hours on end, especially in those multis. Those kids can be away from you anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. I've seen it be longer, so you want to be ready to go, fully equipped. And then this also can provide for your field events, especially for those kids that are going to be in those third or fourth flights after sitting out there with those throws. So, anyways, let's get right to it. The very first thing up, you gotta have your sunscreen. Don't care what brand you like to use, but you need sunscreen. I don't care what shade you are, whether you're white, black. Everybody needs to make sure they get some sunscreen out there, because that Houston heat is gonna be rough, and you want to protect yourself. And I didn't bring it down here, but get some sunscreen for your lips, because your lips will get ate up as well. Next up on our list is this nice little collapsible chair here. This is my favorite chair. This chair will fit in most bags, very comfortable, easy, not a whole lot of pieces you have to do. It just folds right up and it expands right out. So easy, the kids just dump them down like that, and boom, it just sits there. Great chair. So that's like my number one thing, is having a place to sit is crucial. All right, next up for my throwers, you gotta have a couple hand towels. You gotta have them. With that humidity down there, your hands are gonna be really wet. Hopefully they have some chalk out there for you guys, but if nothing else, make sure you have a couple of these hand towels. Dry your hands, wipe your implements. Those are super helpful when you're down there. All right, next up, most obviously, spare spike. You gotta have spare spikes, especially in the multis. You're out there all day long. Don't depend on someone else to have spikes or the officials to have spikes. Have your own stuff ready to go, so that way if you need to make some adjustments. The ideal thing is to make sure you get the spikes in the day before and have them ready to go. But things happen. Sometimes they just get loose and they fall out in your bag, but have spare spikes. So now we're getting down to some more specific things for the multi. You should definitely have a cooler. That's non-negotiable. Those events, you gotta have a cooler. And you want one that has wheels on it. You got wheels, has a nice little handle. Boom. Easy freezy, go around. Also, it doubles as a chair. You can sit on it. Good. We've already had a video where we talked about, type of snacks and drinks you want to have in there. So continuing on with our multi-event athletes, gotta have a bag, a big bag that you can fit like multiple shoes in there, all the things you're gonna be carrying around. Like I said, that chair that I showed earlier, it fits into the kid's bag. Gotta have a good bag. Next up, mini umbrella. Fits in the bag or in the pockets of your bag, whatever. Gotta need it. Not everywhere the kids go is gonna be shaded, and so you need to make sure you have something to block that sun. I know we got the sunscreen on, but the biggest thing is avoiding that sun as much as possible. The kids don't understand it as kids, but every second they're spending in that sun, they're getting drained of their energy. So especially if your kids in the last flight and they're sitting up there in that hot sun and don't have any protection, that could be inches off their throws or off their jumps, especially if there's not enough shade. So mini umbrella, very important. Another item that I would say that I would recommend, you don't need it, but it's hot out there. You want your kids' feet and stuff to stay cool. I recommend, getting some Crocs, knockoff Crocs. I don't care, but these are gonna be, you don't want sitting around in those hot shoes the entire time, especially if you're doing, once again, this goes back to talking about like sitting in those long lines for the field events, or if you're doing multis, those shoes get hot on their feet. They need some cooling. Once again, it's all about keeping the babies as cool as possible. Now moving on to some things that you don't have to have, but I love them. I've had them for my kids the past couple of years, and I was doing this before it became popular on TikTok or whatever. These fans with the hats of the fans, blowing some nice cool air in the face, keeping, if they're sweating, keeping that sweat cool, whatever. Really good hat. I mean, I love it. The kids have loved it. Like I said, once again, those multis get sun protection as well. Fans give off a really good speed, and then also if the battery goes low, guess what? There's solar as well. So you got the solar thing. I've had it out the solar works fine. Still gets you get juice. So fan hats, great. Fits in the bag as well. Next up on non-essential things, but I call them essential for my kids when they're out there in that hot heat, a neck cooler. I opted for a little bit more expensive brand. This is a Taurus or whatever, and it's a lot better option here because obviously you got the fans here that are blowing up on the neck and onto the shoulders and everything like that, but this one right here features a cooling plate, and that thing gets cold, and so that sits back there on those nerves like this, and that goes to those nerves that you have in your neck, and that's going to help keep your body temperature at a good spot. The battery is really good in these things. The kids love them for, like I said, other sports. I take them out when I'm cutting my grass. I do it when I'm officiating. It's just a great little tool to have when you're out there in that heat. So these are really good. They have cheaper versions where they're just blowing air around you, which is great. But like I said, if you can afford one that has a cooling plate on it, that's gonna make a world of difference there. Next up on the things that I have for my kids that, like I said, they're not essential, but they're essential for my kids because, like I said, once again, that Houston heat, just heat in general, I'm trying to keep my athletes somewhat cool up until they get to do their warm-ups and stuff like that. So this is an air conditioning vest. You see it's puffed out here. It has like 4 fans on the back. See if I can get those in there. Yeah, there you go. There's your fans in the back there, blowing up, puff up the jacket, circulating lots of cool air through here. This thing is absolutely fantastic. Got this off of Amazon as well. The kids love them, keeps them cool as they're sitting there waiting on an event. So cooling vest. So this is what my kids look like when they're fully kitted out. We got the hat fan going. I forgot to mention earlier, the hat fan has multiple speed settings, so you can really get some air coming in here. We got our neck cooler, cooling our neck, our nervous system there. And then if you notice on here, I didn't show it before, but it's your battery indicator. And then you have multiple levels of coldness on that neck plate that cooling plate back there, and multiple levels of the fan blowing as well. So you can really stay cool. And then once again, we got our cooling jacket on, fans blowing, we staying cool. Like I said, other backups you have, you're gonna have your umbrella there just in case, like we talked about. You got your nice little chair to sit on, you got snacks in the cooler ready to go. So we out here being safe, staying cool, staying hydrated, and ready to compete at the highest level. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys down in Houston.